Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this will totally not be awkward.
Oh no, for sure it is.
Yeah.
Because I can't believe we've known each other for like over 4 years.
No, much longer, much longer. I don't know. Are we
Really?
already recording right now? Or
Yes.
so. So chapter 2 was like the subject of this. I don't know if is this
Yes, I
gonna be an
think.
episode thing.
Yeah, I think for this first episode, we are gonna discuss our predictions for chapter 2, right?
Okay.
I haven't have a whole lot prepared, but we'll see what we can do.
Well, I just prepared a map, like the map of the upstairs, which I
Yeah.
think is pretty like that's the way you want to do this, because you can go into the narrative of like what part 2 would have been. But I think it's interesting to first look at the architecture and establish like what
Of course, yeah.
we
So
mentally
we
picture.
should first look at all the information we have, right? So we have the
Yeah.
map, right? We have the second floor that's teasing chapter 2, and we
Yeah.
have the previews from the teaser, like the
Yeah.
teaser images. So
Yeah,
we have,
but
yeah,
they are like the only real architecture-wise preview we have is of the attic, which must be on top of this like second floor.
yeah, which isn't on the map for some reason, but
Well, I mean, I just imagine it being a giant square, so I
it
don't.
is because we can see it in the teaser image, and it's just
Yeah,
all empty.
yeah, with a couple of boxes, like it's the Stanley Parable or something.
Yeah. Well, if I'm gonna be really, really honest, I don't think Gabriel had chapter 2 fully planned out, because we can see throughout the versions he keeps changing the map around, right?
I believe that the first version in like 2004, early 2004, was pre-planned because the kitchen isn't in there yet, and it's very improvised. It's like,
Well, yeah,
oh shit,
that's
this
the
game
thing,
has
yeah.
leaked, so I needed official release. And then he changed it and was also working on chapter 2, and then he died, I think.
Well, that's like a discussion for another topic, because I'm a strong
Yeah.
believer he is alive, and you don't. And
Yeah.
that tweet you sent earlier, like, really changed my mindset about it again, because oh god, we should discuss this in another.
Yeah, we're just gonna put this on the shelf right now.
Okay, yeah, we'll put that on the shelf, because I could go on for that forever.
Yeah.
But chapter 2, all right. So
Let's figure out who this girl is.
god,
It's
that
like the last words of like the Aziquil, or however you pronounce this,
Yeah.
the name of the bandit. Yeah.
that bugged me for years, really. Just that
Yeah.
cliffhanger. Like, what is upstairs?
Well, we have a map, so let's
We have a
discuss
map.
first the architecture. All right.
All right, where did you send it? In the
In call chat.
in the call chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so like I imagine like you walk through that door, so you first become like in a hallway L-shaped,
Yeah.
which I think, like, considering that like when you go upstairs in chapter 1, you already see that the tile, or what, like tile and wood of the walls, that already goes into this gray paper texture. So I imagine that like everything from like the second floor is like not the tile texture that we're used to, so it must be like a cheaper version, so it's just carpet. Or
Actually,
not carpet,
yeah.
wallpaper.
No. Me and Mousy actually discussed, you know, the gravestone ending of the game, right?
Yeah.
And there is,
Yeah.
if you look closely, it was never a gravestone. It was a wallpaper. If you look at that
Yeah.
image, it's a wallpaper with the dates on there. So that must be the wallpaper on the second floor, right?
Well, it could be. It could be. Like, I don't know if I
Oh yeah.
think that it is the wallpaper of all of because I think it would be just too logical to keep that hallway part, which I imagine, like, looking at the dorms must have glass, you know. like you see in some like old factories or stuff. You have like a small part that is like boxed out with like glass and stuff.
So
But
that's
I think
yeah.
this texture could be something like in the um, dorms, but the dorms are like a giant. Like the room is big, so I
Mhm.
imagine that this texture specifically is for the what was it, mortuarium or like the
Um,
consulti like
yeah, the
oh wow
doctors,
what.
what we suspect is a doctor's office, right? The
No, not we. You suspect. You
we.
suspect. Yeah, like wasn't it the pharmacy or something? I don't know, but I think it was
Well,
a
in the English
mistranslation.
version of the game, it just says office, which is really weird because there's also, an office downstairs,
Yeah, but that there won't be a
a
like. Why
second
would you
office,
want
right?
to? Let me just type it again in Google Translate because like this
Yeah,
game is like. I imagine that the translation must have. Okay, it was the consulting room, like directly right
consulting
now.
room, yeah. But we notice that this is an asylum for mentally ill children, so
Hmm.
it seems
I
logical
can
that
relate.
I can imagine that it is like a doctor's office, right? With like a doctor's bed and anatomical posters on the wall, that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure, but like then the downstairs office must be like where Graves talk to the kids. I don't know, like some kind of early psychotherapy or something, I guess.
Well, the Dr. Graves' office doesn't really seem like the place they would treat their patients. It just seems like
No, but like just
its
talking
own.
to them,
Yeah.
not necessarily, getting just talking with them.
hmm But this consulting room, or
Mm-hmm.
upstairs office, whatever, that seems like the place where they would get treatment. I can imagine like shock therapy or that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, there also, yeah, okay,
Oh,
that's really interesting. In this consulting room, the dump waiter is, the
yeah,
female
I
kitchen.
wanted to say that right
Why?
now.
Why is that in the the doctor's office? That's so
Okay,
weird.
my creepy theory is okay. This door that we just went through at the end of part one that
Yeah.
was locked.
Mhm.
So my theory is that children were locked up in the second floor. So I
But
imagine like the cooks just like giving food
that
from
no, that could
downstairs
be.
with that.
No, really.
Hmm.
If these are mentally ill children, you would want to,
Box
well,
them in.
not lock them in, but you don't want them to escape, right?
Right. Yeah.
But then again, there is a playground outside, so
Well, I don't know. But I think that that is like what it's meant for. But the funny thing is that like the demon we see in part one,
mhm,
that must be in that room in part two.
most definitely,
Like,
because I think the text in the game says something like the monster went up there, something something,
yeah.
right? So
And what I also like is that there is no, as far as we can look at the map, there is no. It's completely boxed. You can't. There's no window from the dorm and that small hallway to the consulting room or what was
yeah,
it again?
hmm
So we I believe that at the end you will open that door. Not I think you will first explore the rest of um
the dorms and the
the
bathroom and the attic.
yeah, and then like this the
Then at the
attic
very
and
end,
then go back. And
well,
maybe open the room that is like also walled in the first floor.
yeah, I call it the ritual room because
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
most
think
likely.
I'm pretty sure that that is the room where Graves performed the ritual,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
and then yeah,
It must have like opened a portal or something,
yeah,
which
which
is
led
why this house is fucking haunted.
yeah, hmm
Yeah.
that's where the demon came from and that kind of stuff, and the painting changes and the soup and whatever, or the soup
Yeah.
is Anamara, I guess, but
Oh, okay.
no, the soup says help me, right? So that must be a message from Anamara.
Yeah, of course. Okay,
Um,
so I don't know. Do you want to talk about the dorms already, or?
Well, first I want to talk like in general outlines. I think part two is going to be about setting like the house free, like defeating the evil spirits and setting like the soul of Anamara free. Somehow by finding the Stone of Anamara.
Yeah.
Because to me that was never really explained. What is the stone, right?
Well, it must be a part of the ritual, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only, like, the Grave said, I can't defend her without the stone, so that must be part of the ritual.
Yeah, and then in his office there's also a book about amulets, so maybe the
Yeah,
stone is
maybe
an
it
amulet
is.
in some way. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing, though, because the Stone of Anamara as a name, like, it has to be connected to who she is, not necessarily that you have this, I don't know, witchcraft thing laid out for you. I think it is connected to Anamara herself, not necessarily Graves finding a stone to help Anamara with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alright, the dorms. The dorms I just imagine being a...
That room, we first have to establish, like, that room is bigger than the kitchen, the small storage room, it's a huge room.
About twice the size of the hall area, right?
Yeah,
No,
almost.
even
Yeah,
more,
you could
even bigger. It's huge. So I just,
Yeah.
to me, I just imagine there being a whole bunch of bunk beds.
I really imagine like this First World War kind of scene where you have all these beds,
Or just, yeah, rows and rows of these old-fashioned beds, yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know if I totally subscribe to, because like how many people would have been treated in here at the same time?
Well, not that much, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so like how many beds would be there? Like, are we talking 4 or are we talking like
4?
20? I don't know,
Actually,
you know,
I never really thought about how much kids he was treating, but if you think about it, it's not that big, so there can't be too much kids.
Yeah. I don't know, 12 or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
And then the last area of the upstairs is the bathroom.
Showers.
The bathroom and the showers.
Yeah.
And if you've read the newspaper, that is where Anamara was sacrificed.
I think wasn't she like, oh, it was the horrible details, but like shredded up in the bathtub?
Yeah,
She
was cut up in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Like you normally do.
But that isn't that room. So are we gonna see that graphic scene, or?
I get her so, but it's like a couple of days after, and the cops has visited, so chances are her body is already like full of maggots and other disgusting details.
Wait, did the cops visit? Yeah, they arrested Graves, right?
Yeah, and like when the in
so
the
they
English
most likely also
translation,
cleaned up the crime scene. Yeah.
but like in the English translation, like when the prison escapee, like you can click on it and he says like, oh, I've heard the guards talk about this place a couple of days ago, so like it must be.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
There's also actually no reason that the newspaper is in the house. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's also
yes.
weird. Yeah, because who put it on that chair? Someone must have been inside. I think that's just a tiny detail, because I don't think Gabriel thought out the story that far in advance, or ever would imagine us analyzing the game this far.
Okay, so I'm reading this newspaper right now. Okay, so like it says, until now there are 2 people under arrest, but the picture that we have of Graves and the 2 nurses, like they are with 3 people. So if it's Graves and Isabella Montero, then that must be 2 people.
Wait, who's Isabella Montero? I'm sorry.
It's in the newspaper. Why?
Oh my god, I'm really, is that one of the nurses?
I guess so. I mean, who would it else be? Like, who would else be?
I think there are 2 nurses and Graves because of the picture that's outside for some reason.
Yeah, but the newspaper said that only 2 people got arrested. So that must be like that there is one still out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's in the actual physical building, but that's what I would imagine. That
You'd think that there would still be a nurse inside the building?
maybe, we don't know. Like,
Oh my
if
god,
two
maybe
people,
there's just...
or she's dead, as well. But then that would be reported in the
I
newspaper.
don't
But
think
it
she's
isn't.
dead. I think just one of the nurses got, I don't know, got caught, and the other one just got away with it or something.
Yeah, well, that's a possibility as well.
Well, I don't even know if the nurses have anything to do with the murder of Anamara or the ritual or anything.
Well, the ritual certainly not, but the murder, I wouldn't.
You'd think the nurses
I-
did help, or...
Well, if two people are under arrest, like innocent until proven guilty, right? But
Mhm.
we don't know, like it's the Victorian era and stuff, you know. And I don't
Yeah.
know if like two are arrested and it takes at least 3 days. At least we can imagine that is the information that we have right now. So I don't know.
So
Both were present at the time of the murder, so the exact murder, they both were there. So chances are like one of the two nurses was at home just vibing.
yeah. No, it could be.
Yeah.
I just like. I really want to make a part 2 together with some more people because I think they're.
Me too.
Yeah. No.
I want to draw it
We've been,
entirely.
we've been talking about this for years, but we're gonna do it someday.
Yeah, maybe, but like I would really like the idea of making it, but then I would prefer to redraw the entire part 1 and then draw what I
Yeah.
think
No, I
is
was
part
thinking
2.
the same thing. I think it's better if we first remake part 1.
Yeah. Well,
And
then we must try both to not die.
Yeah, I'll try to not.
Which is
die.
harder than you think.
And the other thing is, if we finish part 1, like we have to make part
No.
2 right after. Or
No.
Are we gonna leave?
No, we're just gonna leave. And we're gonna make all social media and just post obscure messages like once every 3 years that make no
my
coherent story. Yeah.
Oh my god. But
And,
if we were gonna make a part 2, like, what is gonna happen? Because the bathroom has to be important to the story.
Yeah, but that's the
Massively important.
scene of the crime itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, the rest of the miners that were... I'm reading the newspaper right now.
Yeah,
The rest
they-
of the miners that were being treated in the asylum were transferred to the hospital of the city until their relatives can be located. Which is totally makes sense because they kept all the files in Graves' office. Like if you're police and you can like make sure that those kids, like, why don't you take the files as well? The fact that Anamara's file is still there makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm also looking at the image of the house, and I noticed that there is a chimney,
Yeah.
but there is no like fireplace in the house, or
Maybe it's
in the. It must be in either in the consulting room or in the attic, which is both kind of weird.
yeah, the attic is the only place that like logically it would be if you look at the anatomy, but chances are they just forgot about that being there in the development.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
like I
surprised.
also think he just put on a chimney to make the house look cool and didn't think like, oh, oh fuck, there needs to be a fireplace too.
Yeah, I think he forgot.
Because
it,
there are some mistakes. Like in the map, there is like a second window in the downstairs attic, which is not in the game. That sort of thing.
Wait. What were you?
If you go to the map, to the
Right.
downstairs office. Oh god, this image is kind of hard to see, but like the dark lines represent windows,
Yeah.
and on the the left side, there's also 2 windows. But if you go in the game,
They are not there.
That's where the radio is, right? There's no window there.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's completely yeah. Okay. Yeah, there are no windows there.
Yeah, that's just a very tiny thing. but you know.
There's also no window in the bathroom of the office, right?
Um, there
Or is that
actually,
no? That's
there
where
is
the
with a curtain.
yeah, right, curtain.
Yeah.
Okay, but going back to like part two for a while.
Yeah.
So we are upstairs. We must have an incentive to go to the attic then, in the storyline.
Yeah,
right?
but I guess that is, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where the stone is or something.
No, I
The
just
pictures,
oh,
it's all-
on the attic. It's oh yeah, sure, right.
It's all empty, so it's so weird. Do you have a picture of the like the teaser images where these
I can just quickly screenshot it. Just
Yeah.
a sec.
um let me see, because I know them from memory. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, but there are like a couple of boxes, and I think bases for the beds in the dorms.
Yeah,
And that's it.
It's such a blurry image. Let's start with that. It's from
Yeah, well, it's like
2006.
rendered in 2006. I mean,
And also YouTube didn't support over like the video is in 240p, so
right.
yeah. Wasn't the YouTube channel called The Stone of Anamara, or was it always Stone of Anamara?
It was called several names. I know that
Yeah.
it was called the Stone of Anamara. I also know that it's just called LPDA.
Yeah, Lapidra de Anamara. Yeah.
No, just LPDA, not Lapidra
Yeah,
de
but
Anamara.
that's it's short for.
Yeah, of course, but like
yeah. Mhm.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
I'm looking at the attic right now, and I'm seeing boxes, and
Yeah.
I'm seeing, I think, empty shelves or something.
I think they must have been like if we
Or maybe those are bunk beds, right?
Yeah,
Without the mattress or something.
maybe.
It's hard to see, but then I think we discussed this also like years ago. On the right,
I wouldn't know.
on the right,
So
there's like this dark spot on the floor.
Yeah, that must be like a hatch or something where you could enter this.
Maybe these teaser images aren't even completed.
Maybe there's no way of knowing, but what we do know is that this was released a year after Gabriel like died, and we also know that there were people working with him on the game, and there must have been people in the meantime who like edit, like they must have kept up with the social media and stuff. And the banners that we look at, they are not made by Gabriel, at least in like when he was around.
Well, that's
Like many of them have like Facebook links, which like he died in 2005. Facebook was created 5 years after.
But then on the second floor, where would that, where would that be? Would it be?
I think look, if you
I think
kind
it would be
of
at
look,
the stairs,
it would.
right? By the stairs.
No, I think it would be in. I'll just post another image. Why the fuck not? It would be like somewhere over here, in my opinion. I think it would be there, and then you get out and look around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think. I wouldn't know.
No, sounds good to me.
Okay. Okay. Well. Oh, by the way, if you look at the bathroom place, you see like there are several lines in the plans which might just made by the architect for convenience sakes.
Do you mean the 3 X's?
No, like just the thinner, the much less
like
clearer lines.
Like I think that's just a wall between like the sinks and the showers, right?
You don't like if you so these 2 doors, when you would walk through it.
Yeah.
In the front of you, there is this like very not like this very square thing, but it's like it's barely visible. There is like this line. Wait a second, I'll just mark it again. Why the fuck not? Okay, so there is this. And that might be the bathtub. There's no way of knowing, right?
I can see it. Maybe that's the bathtub, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's where Anamara is. fermenting. Ugh.
I hope not. I hope it is like cleaned up or something.
Yeah, but like we already established that the cops that infiltrated the place are not
Did
the
a
most
shitty job.
logical. They did a very shitty job. Yes, like not calling in assistance when there's like noises and demons in there.
Yeah. But we know that stuff is rotting because, like, the stuff in the fridge is rotting and the soup is disgusting. All that.
Yeah, that's what I find so weird because that doesn't happen in 3 days. I can tell you from experience. So.
No, but again, I just think that's, that, yeah, you shouldn't
Okay, so
overthink that.
okay, so we have established like the architecture
Yes.
of the place.
Yeah.
What
Mhm.
do you think would happen storyline wise in part 2?
Storyline wise, I think the game, Chapter 2, would start by, the door opening. Or maybe
Right.
like a recap of part 1 or something, like an animation, whatever.
That could
And
be
then
cool.
the door opening, and then you check out the dorms, and there's like the wheelchair and the blocks, the toy blocks.
No, I don't
No?
believe the blocks. I think the blocks would
Oh,
be
yeah,
in the
you think it-
consultory or whatever you want to call.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Okay.
You check out the dorms, then you check out the bathroom. I think those are all just unlocked. Or what do you think?
I think the only room that would be locked is the consulting room. I don't think that would be open because you would find the demon right there.
Yeah. That's what I also think, but at the other hand, like 50% of the gameplay of part 1 was unlocking doors.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
But like,
it
I don't
could
know
be
if
that
this.
you have to trigger another like scene with Anamara in the dorm room, and then that unlocks the bathroom. Something like that.
Yeah.
Just like how you unlock the kitchen and how you
Right.
unlock Dr. Graves' office.
Yeah. Maybe.
All right. So there are a couple of things in part 1 that are, I think, teasing towards part 2, but are still unexplained, and that is actually mostly the storage room.
Yeah.
Because storage room doesn't really add anything to part 1. Except kind of,
Okay.
teasing a bunch to part 2. Because of the
So
map
here's the
and-
thing, though. Like when you go there, you have a hammer. So maybe in part 2 you need to use it for, I don't know, hammer stuff.
Yeah, maybe. But then there's also all these valves which you can't turn, which to me just seems too much like a puzzle of some sorts, which was never finished.
Maybe that is the case because you need to use warm water in the.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
maybe at some point he was gonna have you do a puzzle with the valves, and then
Oh, that's a great. Yeah.
and then that would unlock whatever. That would
No.
unlock
You would.
warm
You
water.
would. You would unlock warm water and then use it in the bathroom of the
Yeah.
office. Yeah. Right.
But maybe he couldn't figure out how to do the puzzle, or he ran out of time, right?
Well, yeah. If he wanted to publish this game, if it was leaked, which in an interview it said it was, I wouldn't know.
Mhm. Well, I think it
There's
was
no
never,
way of
I
tracing.
think he never intended to split it up into 2 parts.
Yeah. So it's actually by
That's
dumb
why
luck
it's
that we
such
have
an
this game in the
abrupt-
first place.
That's why it's such an abrupt ending, and why is there so much, stuff left unanswered.
Well, what we know is that the kitchen in the first version wasn't there at all. It was
No.
like just a kitchen that you could just walk around in and go away.
Yeah.
And like the game doesn't make too much sense because like you have to go to the storage and then go to the office and then get to the kitchen and there is not a real logical structure that much. The structure is like kind of broken
Yeah.
because you can just go to the office and then do the puzzle already and Like then the upstairs should be unlocked,
No, no,
but
no.
that isn't the case.
Oh no, actually, you have to eat soup. It's one of the triggers.
Yeah,
to
but that
finish the
makes
game.
no sense, right? That means
While I
the
was speedrunning the game, so there's, I think.
speed running. You were just clicking right and like that wasn't a speed run,
Listen,
dude.
I know the triggers for the game. The trigger is, getting the power in the house.
Right.
It's unlocking or doing the clock thing, unlocking Graves' office.
Right.
It's for some reason eating soup, which I can only guess that Gabriel was really proud of that sequence, which doesn't make any sense.
How do
But,
you mean? Why would he be proud on that? I don't know.
Because
What-
it's actually, you have to first get the matches, and there's like an animation, and he has like this 3D model of soup, and you have to find the spoon, and you have to turn on the furnace, and
Right.
gaming wise, like programming, that's like the most complicated thing in the game, I think. Like the whole soup making sequence.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
And it doesn't make any sense why you have to eat soup for, to
Okay,
unlock
but
the upstairs door. And then
if we just-
the last trigger, the last two triggers are the jump scare of the dump waiter, and the last one
Ugh.
is the Ouija board, and then then you finish the game.
Right, but that doesn't really make sense from a like storyline point of view because it's kind of broken. Because like, why would you go to the kitchen? But like, if the game was released before it was intended to be released, without the kitchen and maybe without the storage puzzle, then if you would think about like what would the storage way puzzle, if it was completed, what would that entail? I don't know.
You mean the
Oh,
puzzle-
maybe
what?
maybe for the pipes. The pipes are broken. Maybe the card that you find in the vent is a hint for that. That you
Yeah,
need to
no,
turn
that was
all of them.
also what I was thinking. I was thinking that the card you find in the vent is indeed hinting, like it's like hinting towards how you should turn the valves in some way.
Right.
But
Yeah.
on the other hand, the symbols on the card don't make any sense referring to valves.
Well, you have these
Well,
lines.
Well, you have
And then,
lines and
like-
dots, yeah. But then, what is so weird is that there is like a pentagram on top, and in the earliest version, it said refugio, which means escape. It said escape on that card, which is so weird.
Well, then the using of water must be attached to escaping. If it was completed, the game.
Yeah. But then in later versions, he changed it to a pentagram, which is also.
Well, then he must have changed his mind, right?
He changed his mind,
I
yeah.
guess.
So maybe it was at some point used for an escape, and then he changed his mind. Like, no, wait, no, we have to go upstairs, and there's gonna be, a battle scene with you and the demon, and then, maybe he died or whatever. He never.
Well, he
finished it.
died.
Well, that's what you think. Oh god, this next episode. Actually, I'm not sure if I want to make an episode about it because it's kind of, on my end, it's kind of creepy. All the research I did, I just basically
Yeah.
stalked- I
Looking
just
back, it
basically-
was kind of
No, I basically
crossed the line in a way.
stalked a 40-year-old Argentina man for weeks.
Let's not talk about this cringy shit that we did in the past, okay? Let's focus on wrapping this episode up. Okay, but can I kind of like make my theory about what part 2 would be?
Sure.
Okay, so you walk through that door. You go eventually to the bathroom. You find Anamara, which would be a crazy jump scare to see in front of you at the time. Like this kind of innocent, cute girl, like totally. I don't want to think about it. And
Yeah.
I think that eventually you would open the ritual room after exploring the second floor. You would then do the ritual,
Wait.
and
The thing is,
right.
in the game files, it shows that the ritual room opens up.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean that he intended that for part 1?
No, I think it means that he had that animation complete already, and considering that we were exploring the first floor, then, Why not already
Yeah,
put it in that you
because he
that
left
so
it
it's
out.
easier for the updated version or part 2 or whatever. The complete game.
All right. What else do we have? I think that's about.
Well, okay, so I think that you eventually
Yeah,
explore
yeah.
the place, you find the Stone of Anamara, you, I don't know, open the consulting room, and a
Then use
demon
that stone on the
crawls in
demon.
your face and,
Yeah.
I don't know, like escapes or something. I don't know. It wouldn't be the.
No, no, no. You would use the stone or something, or maybe he's repelled by it, or he just vanishes. I don't know. You use the stone to
Yeah.
defeat him, right?
Well, okay, but if he vanishes, like, as far as we know, he went up the thing in the kitchen, and right now it like the how do you call it again?
What, the
Like
consulting room? The
no, the what you use in the kitchen, what you open and the demon crawls in your face and
oh,
like screams.
the dumb waiter.
Yeah, that was what I. Okay,
Yeah.
so as far as we know, the upper one is stuck. So I think
Yeah.
the demon is very much like I don't think he could go through walls. He
No, no,
must
no. He's
be.
most definitely in that room.
Yeah,
That's
but
locked
the
up.
demon
Yeah.
is also completely white, so I think that he comes from a um, place where light isn't present.
Yeah.
Because,
Hell.
like, well, maybe I don't know, but
Most
like he,
definitely hell.
but if like many things that if you completely don't add light to something, then
Hmm.
like it turns white. So I think that that must have been the case with the demon. Which is maybe like when I ever had a crazy spider in my room, my dad would always say like, "Oh, he's more afraid of you than the other way
Hmm.
around,"
Yeah.
which I think might be the case for the demon if he never saw light in his entire life.
That's why he's hiding in the dumbwaiter.
Maybe it
Because it's
is.
dark. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yes, wait, there's one last thing that is inside part 1 that isn't used, and that is the lantern.
Right.
The lantern in the kitchen. It's in the first version, but also removed in any other version after that.
Okay, so what if we use the lantern for the attic? Because there is no light there as far as we are aware.
I was thinking the ritual room. Because
That could also be the case for that matter,
because
but
it's dark.
yeah, but if you look at the preview image of the attic, like there is no real
Yeah, it's
natural
also
light in there.
it's also
I don't
really
know.
dark. Yeah.
I don't know. But I think you would perform the ritual, but considering that like the main character is someone who escaped from a prison, I think it will be an ending that will save the mansion universe or whatever. But I also believe that
That he's gonna
like
be
he would
arrested, right?
sacrifice himself, I think, in a way.
Yeah.
Like from a storyline point of view, you'd have like the bandits or Azequil or however I pronounce it go to that
Yeah, I
room
can. Yeah.
and like, oh, I used my whole life for crime, and now in this Romeo and Juliet way I can sacrifice myself
Yeah.
to save the little girl in the universe.
So yeah, he saves the girl. He saves the house. Like getting rid of
The
the evil
uni-
spirits. But then, the cops show up, because the cops were right on his tail in the first scene of the game. So
Well, I think they've lost him, but cops would eventually turn like
Well, they
next,
would
what
go,
was it,
like-
Saturday, so it would be next morning the
Well-
cops would arrive back.
those cops are looking for him, and then they see this mansion and the lights are on. What? Why are the lights on? So they go check it
Okay,
out,
so
right?
yeah, but let me take a look at the newspaper because if I swear,
I think the
They
cops
would
would go to
return.
the house if they seen the lights were on, even though they just cleaned it out a couple of days ago. They would get suspicious, like, who's in there?
Okay, so this motivated to suspend the expert's work in the place until next Tuesday. So which day was it again? It was the 13th, but I'm not sure
It's
which.
the 13th, but I don't think it says the day, and we also don't know the year the game takes place.
Okay, so you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then you look at the... That's Tuesday. What?
Wait, the 13th is a Tuesday?
The turf in the calendar in the kitchen.
Does it say Tuesday?
Yeah.
So the cops are gonna show up.
No, because it's in the middle of the night, so they would have already showed up a second time. Or, like... Yeah, because it's an old newspaper. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. Let me just post the calendar so you know that's, like,
Yeah.
it's Tuesday itself. Oh, wait! I understand. They would suspend going to the mansion because there was a prison escapee. Or, in general, like, didn't he escape from a riot?
No. He stole from a market, and then the police catched him, and he was like, "Oh, why did they have to see me? I'm gonna run away."
I don't remember all of the dialogue because the
Isn't
only
all of the
version
dialogue
that
in that one DeviantArt post? Someone typed out all the dialogue in the game.
No, that wasn't canon as far as I'm aware. That was just fan. I know what you're talking about. I've seen it as well. Considering DeviantArt is the place where I post my stuff.
No,
so.
but I don't imagine. I remember that he stole something from a market, and then the cops were after him.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really hard
Thanks,
to find any of the
Thanks,
text now.
Game Chat, for totally cutting off the English translation for us.
Well, I can't find any version with text nowadays.
It was the Game Chat version, for sure.
But I can't find any version now, so it must be like Flash Player, which got, bugged or something.
Maybe.
Because I looked for it, but...
I guess, I don't know.
Oh wait, isn't the dialogue in the walkthrough? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
But
okay, but is the intro cut off or not? Let me look.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
but it's the wrong version.
How do you mean?
Well, it says like where is it? My grandma used to say to me, and then it skips the text and it goes, and she was right. Well, there was also a version where
that does that.
Where it does like the entire thing. Like my grandma used to say to me, and then I think it was something like, "Oh, you shouldn't steal." There was more text.
Let me just in the first part of the walkthrough, like it says, "I think we've lost him." Yada yada yada. The sergeants will be very angry with us.
Okay, it also says, "I've lost them. I better get some rest." And then
my grandma used to say to me. And she was right. Yeah, that's where it cuts out. That's
no, because that's not the full text. There was more text, but I don't know. I don't know.
So many criminals out there. These cops had to see me.
Yeah.
I've lost them. I better get some rest. Yeah, it's not the full text. That's on my to-do list then.
Gabriel doesn't know English, so I'm guessing he didn't even notice that it was.
I wouldn't know.
No.
It wasn't released with the English version, though. The first version had only Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've kinda discussed the subject of part 2 and what we expect in the architecture of the house, right?
I think we discussed all our predictions, right? Or is there anything missing?
Chances are there is, and we'll just remember like in an hour after we end this.
No, we got the ritual room, we got the lantern, we got the card in the vent, we got the valves, and how to get to the attic and all of that. How do you unlock the ritual room?
Well,
would it be another?
It is mechanized, right? So that wall moves itself. So I believe that. Maybe in the second floor has something to do with it. I don't know.
I think you have to unlock it with another cutscene, right?
Maybe.
And you would unlock it like at the very end or something. I think the ritual room is like where the game will end, maybe. Right?
Yeah, that's what I imagine. Like where you have to sacrifice yourself.
So maybe you defeat the demon in the consulting room, but then you also have to set Anamara's soul free or something in a ritual room. or
What
something.
about this? What about this? Okay, so you open the consulting room, the demon screams in your face again, pushes you over and flies or whatever. I don't know. We don't see that much of him except his face and his two arms.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks to me very much like a Chinese dragon.
Yeah.
But like he would, I don't know. I can see him go downstairs because, like, the door would be open, and I don't know. There is a way that he could escape downstairs or something. I don't know.
Could be. But that's all speculation. We'll never know the answer. How about that?
Well, we have to make a part 2 someday, but not.
We
not
have
now.
to, but God, it's so hard. I'm
No,
so curious what
I
Gabriel
can
had-
draw it in its entirety. Only I need time, which I don't have because I'm going to school and stuff.
But it's just so I'm so curious about what Gabriel had intended for part 2. If he had like any plans
Yeah.
or notes or anything. And
Well, we know
don't-
for sure.
We don't even know how far part 2 was developed.
Well, we know that he made a 3D render of the attic, right?
Yeah, he made
So-
the attic. Yeah.
And if that wallpaper is from, in my opinion, a consulting room,
Hmm.
I believe that everything is modeled. And what I find strange, I like posted yesterday in the main chat of this very Discord, the Barbara Streisand emoji. Oh no, was it Caitlyn Jenner that I named him? I don't know. Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner.
If you look at the tweets that I posted yesterday, like in 2010 in September, they wrote,
That
"We'll
is-
try to update as much new content."
That's the weirdest tweet. That's a deleted
Yeah.
tweet, right?
Yeah, that's deleted. We'll
That
try to
completely-
update as much
That completely fucks up my entire timeline and anything.
No, it doesn't, because
It
Gabriel
does.
dies in 2005, and people take over from him, and maybe they
But
didn't.
that's your theory. I don't believe anyone. That's a discussion for another
Yeah,
podcast. But
part
to
2
me,
that we will make
Okay,
in 16
so-
years.
in short, you believe that Gabriel died and that the rest of the people who worked on the game took over.
No,
right?
just 1 or 2 maybe.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
one or two. While I think that he faked his death.
know. Okay, we should talk about it
We should talk
next
about it
time.
in the next
Next
time.
episode,
And
yeah.
We'll also do an episode about I don't know, like our experience with the game, how we found it, or anything.
Yeah, personal experience.
Our personal
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, we should wrap this baby up, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the 0 people that are gonna watch this, thank you.
Most definitely. Actually, I was
Thank
quite
you
surprised.
very much for watching. this.
Actually, to be honest, I was quite surprised that what was it, like the video I did on the Game Files got like 30 views.
Yeah.
Cause like, that means at least 30 people are interested.
No, not 30. Like, I watched it several times, and YouTube view count. Maybe like
it's already at
6
40.
others. I don't know.
And there were some comments, so that's really awesome.
Yeah, it is.
For
But,
a game out of, that came from 2004, it's kind of crazy that someone would click on that. But,
Well, I think there are many people like us too who had this experience when they were younger
Stone
and
of
are still
Anamara.
baffled by, for its time and era, the amount of production value to it.
yeah. Hmm.
And that's why I think that we have to make part 2 someday.
Most definitely.
Because,
yeah.
like, who else is gonna do this? Nobody.
Well, no one is.
Yeah, so it's kind
Well,
of weird.
Mousy actually did make a part 2. It was
He tried.
he tried.
I
It was
really
something,
liked what
right?
he
It was
did with-
playable. It was playable. It was really short, but it was a step in the right direction.
It
And
was
then-
a step for sure.
And then there was also that guy who wanted to remake the game in Unity. So I have to
Yeah,
contact
that would have
guy.
been so awesome.
I
but
have
like,
to get that. I have to get contact with that guy. But then
Yeah, we
I-
should try to get as many people in
I
here as
also
possible.
remade the house in Minecraft 4 or 5 years ago. So maybe I'll make a video on that because
That would be cool. In general, I hope that you will find a way to like recycle assets that are used in the game, like you did for the Happy Birthday.
Like for videos or for the gameplay? Because for the gameplay,
videos.
Because if we are gonna make the game, it's gonna be so hard because the quality is.
No, I mean, maybe I'm just too narcissistic, but like I posted some drawings in the fan art chat.
No, I can show them in the.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yes.
I would love to redraw the entire thing.
Like
that would be so cool.
This style is really cool, actually.
Thank you. But that's what I would like to do. Just redraw the
entire thing.
Yeah, and then draw part 2.
Thinking about it, wouldn't like a comic or an animation be a whole lot easier than?
No, I don't like animations.
What?
I suck. I love animations, but I just suck at making them, and I get salty.
All right, we're gonna make a game.
One day, not. I have still lives and stuff to do.
Yeah.
And chances are, like, you could. I don't know. I would love to do it though.
Oh my god.
But here's the thing that I would walk if I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to get as many people involved as possible to write a proper storyline. Okay, so if I do this, where do I get all the sound effects? Because, you know, I rip them out of the game? That seems like copyright infringement. And how much of my personal experience or childhood, hey, this is my perception versus reality, how much do I balance that out? You know, what do I add that is myself, and what do I add that is the canon game?
Yeah.
And then as well, like I don't want to program anything. So like program a music, like someone else has to do that.
Programming seems like a really pain in the butt. Because like making assets, you know, I'm all down for that. And sound effects are also not really a problem because I know how to do that.
Well, that will cost us money then, because we would have to hire someone
for programming.
To do it.
Oh god.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that like the only thing that you would have to program is like you need to make sure that the view that you have of the game is like smaller than the entire image, and and it's just a point and click game mechanic wise.
Actually, thinking about it, it might not be too difficult if we shouldn't put a whole lot of puzzles in it, but if it's just point and click, you know, it's not too difficult.
We could also always update it later.
Yeah. And we can ask
Mousy.
Mousy at least has some experience.
We should first make part 1, release it, and then just disappear as well.
We should disappear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just whoosh.
Just disappear for 16 years and leave.
And you know, never come back. And start a band like your theory is that he did.
My theory, yes, he did.
It's not him.
I have this incredible theory. I need to have, you know, one of those boards with all the pins and the strings, like the detectives have. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna make my entire crazy conspiracy theory that Gabriel Rodriguez never died. He never died. No, he didn't. I have stuff backing me up, you know.
Yeah, I have as well, which is called common sense. But let's just wrap this first part up. I don't know how long we've been talking already.
An hour.
Oh, okay, well that's enough for a podcast.
That's actually perfect for a podcast, and I'm gonna cut some stuff out, make it nice and sweet. All right.
So, stoners that didn't watch, because nobody else will watch this.
No one will watch till this point. No one.
I think people will watch like in 16 years.
In 16 years, we're gonna be...
That's how we should name this first part, like Stone of Anamara podcast part 1 in 16 years.
Yeah. So guys, that was the podcast. Stay tuned for part 2, which will come out in 2048. What's like in 16 years? Wait. 36?
16 years.
That's 36, right?
Yeah, 36.
Okay, so I'll see you guys in 2036 for part 2 of, or episode 2 of this Stoner podcast, or however it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, bye.
Let's not make it any more awkward than it is already. Bye.